What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big John and G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Hard to get my wrist to turn that much. Alright, I am a little happier and a little more jovial than normal, my friends. Why? Because for this 2GP special presentation, I've got something new. Something I've been thinking about for a while, but haven't been able to make the time to dedicate it to film for you. But I think I got the time now. Well, if I don't, then I don't know what the heck I'm doing right now. I got the time, so I wanted to bring this. I wanted to do this. This is the start of something that you're going to see maybe monthly, maybe, definitely whenever, which is why it's presented here in our special presentation, because it's not a category all onto itself. It's something that you will see on special occasions. Got it? Makes sense, right? Anyway, I had to do something with that cool intro. Alright, everyone, so for this very special Two Gun Pixie presentation, we bring you Publishers Playhouse. And this is where I talk about a publisher I like and the games that they put out, what is available for you. You may know one or two games from a publisher, but maybe you don't know as many as I know. Maybe there's something here for you. That's why I bring this to you. Alright, everyone, so I will see you all down at the table.
Shut up and sit down.
I changed my mind. It was so nice outside, I decided to come out and finish filming the rest of this before it gets too hot. Whew. Tricked you there, surprised you. Yeah, that was the goal. But thank you all very much for stopping by this Two Gun Pixie special presentation with a brand new series idea. Let's see how this takes off. Let's see how much I enjoy it, and you. And I call this Publishers Playhouse. This is where I take a publisher and I tell you what makes this a great publisher. What kind of great games do they have? Should you be looking at this publisher of games? And if it's on this episode, then the answer is yes, my friends. Yes, you should be looking at this and any of the future publishers that I bring to attention. So now let's start off with this very first one with the very first company that trusted Two Gun Pixie, a brand new video reviewer, and decided to trust us enough to send us material. And they consistently still send us material to talk about. So I would like to give a little honor to them, being the first ones here. And that company, my friends, is Osprey Games. If you don't know Osprey Games, you should. If you're a board gamer, if you enjoy a tabletop adventure, then you need to know all the great games that this publishing company has. And I'm going to do my best to bring to attention quite a few of their games to you. This is going to be a quick rundown. In fact, I would like to address this by gaming style. I would like to talk about all the different great gaming styles they have and the games that are representative of those styles. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind, although it was not the very first game they sent, yes, it was the very first game they sent to me. Woo! And it's the first one to be mentioned. If you enjoy one versus all games, they have a magnificent one versus all game that has a good period setting, World War II, and that game, Escape from Colditz. Yeah, this is the kind of game that I think one versus all gamers are really looking forward to, because it does great job on both sides of it. It does a great job giving the person that's the security officer at Colditz, some great abilities without making them feel overpowered. While on the other hand, if you're playing the prisoners of war that are trying to escape from Colditz, it gives you some amazing abilities to try to escape. Now keep in mind, if you didn't know, this is based on historic fact. This is based on a novel that was written by a British officer who successfully escaped from Colditz. It got turned into a BBC TV series and a movie, and I think a second series even. It did really good because it told a true story of human survival and escape. It's a great one versus all game. If you enjoy two-player games, and I'm talking about games that are specifically designed just for two players, again, Osprey Games is where you want to look, because they have two fantastic games for two players only. And both of them have mythological settings. I enjoy that. I enjoy a game that's based on mythology. And the two games they have here, Agamemnon. Now this isn't just about the Trojan War. This is about you and the other player playing gods and how you are manipulating the battle so that the side you want to win will win. It's not placing troops. It's not fighting champion versus champion or unit versus unit. No, it's you, the gods, manipulating the strings of fate. And it gives this war game a unique chess-like-ish feel to it that you wouldn't expect from a board game. That's not chess. Now the other one, Odin's Ravens, another great two-player only game. And this game, you and the other player are exactly that. You are Odin's Ravens. And you go out, just like the mythology says, and you fly around the world every day. You see things, and you come back, and you perch on Odin's shoulders, and you whisper into All-Father's ears everything you've seen around the world. Well, the concept of the game is after thousands of years, the Ravens have gotten a little bored, so they decided to turn it into a game, turn it into a race around the world. And what really brings this game to life are the Loki cards. Loki, the great trickster god himself. You get to play cards that will manipulate your flight path, that will manipulate the speed of your flight. But he is the god of mischief. So pretty much anything you do to the other opponent will eventually come back and get you. That's because each player runs on their own track, but when you get to the end of that track, you switch to the other player's track and head back. So if you do anything to mess that other player's track up, you're going to have to deal with it when you get around to it. Great strategy, great thinking in this game. If you like a game that you can play solo, they have a couple, but one in particular I'd like to point out to you, and that's the Judge Dredd Cursed Earth game. It's a game where you are in control of 3 different judges, and you are trying to get to the perp before anyone else does, before the other bad guys. Well, not other bad guys, you're not a bad guy, you're a judge. But before bad guys get to this informant, you gotta travel the Cursed Earth to do it. And in order to survive, you have to use the skills that your 3 judges have. It's tricky. It's not easy. I've won the game in a solo mode once. Well, that's the other good thing about this game is you don't have to play just solo. You could play cooperative or you could play head-to-head. It really opens things up. But if you like a good solo game, like I said, if others plays in other modes, you are going to love playing Judge Dredd Cursed Earth solo. Now here's something there's a few games of on the market. I myself don't have any other than this one, and that's a market manipulation game. Yeah, a market manipulation game, like you're playing the stock market. And they did it, I think, in a rather fun way. They set it up in a sci-fi world where you're all space runners who are making deliveries. And you're also keeping a little to the side for yourself because you're a bit of a smuggler. And while you're doing this, you're making money by dropping supplies off. You're also making money by hoarding a few to yourself. But you can manipulate, as I said, the marketplace. You can manipulate how much these items are worth. And if you over-manipulate it, it's going to crash. And everything you've been hoarding for yourself is going to turn out to be worthless. It is a really fun version of a market manipulation game, and it makes me actually want to go out and try more like that. Miniatures. Miniatures. We all love miniatures. They look amazing. And Osprey Games has dove into that pool, so to speak. And they gave us, by Martin Wallace, they gave us Wildlands. This is also falls under the category of a programmable movement game, because you are going to program your movements beforehand. But I think what everyone really likes about this game is the beautiful, beautiful minis that they have to go with this. And they have 2 expansions of minis also. They have an undead party, and they have the adventuring party. And you can switch them out. The game only plays up to 4. And if you have those extra sets, you can swap out any 1 or 2 of the existing sets from the core game and use those. Man, this is a really good-looking miniatures game. And the miniatures are perfect if you're a painter. You're going to like it. I mean, I'm not. I can't. But if you are, I think you're going to like these miniatures even more. Do you like games of hidden role and identity? If so, you are going to have to check out Osprey Games' Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space. You know what you are. You know whether you're a human or you're infected. Alien cannibal DNA has overtaken your body. But the others don't know, and it all takes place in the dark. So you're running around in the dark, trying to get to an escape pod to get back to Earth before you get eaten and or turned into one of these creatures. You don't know who the other players are. You can't trust anybody but yourself. And you're following it all, marking it all down, because there's no board. You're marking it all down on a travel pad that has the map of the level of the board you're on. So you can track where you think the other players have been moving, as well as where you think the pods that work. It's not all the pods work. It's a fun game, and it really plays fast. I don't think I've had a game last more than maybe 20, 30 minutes, and that's even with up to 7 players. This is a good game. If you like those hidden identity games where you don't know who the bad guy is, you want to check out Osprey Games' Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space. Maybe you like to follow great game designers, because Osprey Games has gotten a few well-known names to design games for them. Rene Kinzier, they've gotten him. He's done High Society and Sakura, which are both amazingly fun games. High Society is sort of a market game. You're bohemians and you're trying to live the richest, most opulent lifestyle without going broke. And it adds a good fun element that me and the 20-Sided Warriors still make jokes about the games that we play. It's really fun. While Sakura is set in ancient Japan, where you're trying to get the perfect painting of the emperor. But so are the other players. And you're bouncing around, bumping into each other, knocking each other down, throwing each other behind you. But don't bump into the emperor. No, you want to get close. But you don't want to get so close that you bump into him or someone pushes you into him. So that's going to send you all the way back to the start. And you're going to have to play catch up to where the emperor is. It's a fun game. More strategic than you would think. Now, Martin Wallace, as I said before, he's also been with them and he designed the 2nd edition of London. Now, this is a game where you're trying to rebuild London after the Great Fire of 1666. So you got to buy up land, you got to buy up property. But what really makes this game shine is how you got to deal with poverty and paupers. They are everywhere. You can't get rid of them, and they ruin your score. It is a tough game, but I think it's tough, the kind of tough that you're going to love. You want to try that. And Pierre Sylvester Peter Sylvester, who well, besides the fact that he brought them a great selling game, The Lost Expedition, which is all about trying to retrace Percy Fawcett's last expedition to the Amazon back in the 1930s. But he also has brought us a rather unique 3-player game called The King is Dead. It's all about the death of King Arthur and how the people behind the throne manipulate things so that the person they want on the throne, not necessarily them, but the person they want on the throne will get there. If you like deduction games, then you are definitely going to want to check out Cryptid. This is a fun concept where you are a monster hunter, and you have put together all the facts that you have, or think have, in order to find the cryptid and prove its existence. The other players have hints and clues also. And the bulk of the game is you trying to deduce where these cryptids are so you can prove the existence and win the game. Fun, clever, a thinking game. That doesn't even begin to really touch the surface of all the games they have. These are just some of the ones that I think absolutely shine. You're going to want to go check them out, especially with new titles. They're constantly coming out with new titles. As of the dropping of this, there's at least 3 that I know of that we're going to be expecting by the rest of the year. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell actually just dropped, and it's based on the classic novel turned successful television show. So if you're into the reemergence of British magic, then you're going to want to check this out. If you're a fan of the book, if you like the TV series, you're going to want to check that out. They have a second Judge Dredd game coming out. Later this year, they're coming out with one based on popular Martin Wallace's Wildlands, the miniature game I was telling you about. This is based on that, and it's called Judge Dredd Helter Skelter. I don't know much else about it, but I know I'm going to be wanting to check it out. And lastly, they have a game announced for this year that I have no idea what it is, because I've never read the novel it's based on, nor have I ever even heard of it, but that doesn't really say a lot. There's a lot of novels out there. I probably don't know most of them. But the series that this is based on is called A Throne of Glass, and the game is called Embers of Memory. And this is a novel series by a Sarah J. Maas. Apparently it's huge. I guess so. Big enough they turned it into a game. And it's coming out at the end of the year. Keep your eye out. Keep your eye out on Osprey Games. They have amazing titles. They always have more amazing titles listed to come out. So if you're looking for a new publisher to follow, you're going to want to check out Osprey Games. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for coming outside and enjoying this conversation I had. Thank you for going over to the Two Gun Pixie Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts and seeing what we do over there. Nice. Thank you. And you know, we've got a Zazzle store. So if you want to go check out some of our designs, some of our board gaming designs, RPG designs, or basic nerdy designs, you're going to want to go over to the Two Gun Pixie Zazzle store and check those out. Maybe there's something you're going to like. And if not, at least thank you for going and seeing what we have over there. And finally, I want to give a great big thank you to everyone that's been coming over to YouTube and watching our show. You've been subscribing, you've been liking, you've been commenting. Oh, awesome. And you've been sharing our videos. And not just us. Whenever you find a video that you really enjoy, share it. It's a great way to let people know, and it's a great way to tell the person that made the video that you enjoyed it. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. The Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.